Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I want to take you with me on this past Saturday's adventure down to the Lions Automobilia Museum in Rancho Dominguez, California. I brought the Pimp Cadillac out to share it with the world and found a nice parking spot right up front. This was a custom car show that was being held down there, sponsored by a couple of local clubs. Part of the purchase price of the spot gave you access to the museum as well as lunch and to be a part of the car show. Now, a lot of traditional customs there. This awesome flamed shoebox was super cool. Love this Riviera. These cars were a part of the Sultan's Car Club, or at least this particular one was. There were some other clubs there as well in attendance. Small car show, but the quality was high. Definitely some really beautiful machines on display there for everybody to see. A couple of rat rods mixed in and patina cars. This Chevy absolutely knocked my socks off. I love the detail on that. The finish was super, super awesome. Glossy, well-detailed, nicely done car inside and out. Check out that badass steering wheel. Really cool. Anyway, laid out, looking awesome. Here's another great patina 1960 Chevy wagon. Love the pinstriping on that, the little detail of the fade. There's something about that stuff that really turns me on, especially when it's massaged and handled well, like on that car and the Chevy prior. This was probably my favorite car in attendance. This custom Thunderbird was parked right next to me. I've seen some photos of this car online, but to see it in person was absolutely incredible. What a cool looking ride. Definitely fun to see that. Cool little chopped panel truck there. Loved that. But the thing I loved the very most was the opportunity to check out the Lions Automobilia Foundation Museum. This is one of the newest auto museums in Southern California, and it absolutely blew my mind. A special treat was when I walked in the door, I saw this custom Dodge that was a car that I appraised on the TV show Sticker Shock. Fun to see that car again, and certainly had a place of honor in this incredible showroom of automobiles. This museum is an absolute must hit. If you're in the Southern California area, specifically Rancho Dominguez, Long Beach area, this is well worth seeing. The museum is only open a couple days a week, so definitely check that out before you make your trip. But it was spectacular. Not only was there an incredible display of muscle cars, there was also a fantastic display of movie cars, drag race cars, all sorts of historic artifacts that were tied into the Lions drag strip. That was a SoCal staple dragway where a lot of amazing things happened. And a whole part of Southern California hot rod history. In any case, wandering through, I'll kind of show you some of the highlights of what I've seen, although everything in there was a highlight. The best part about the museum, obviously the cars were incredible, but I think the space that they're in is even more amazing. Not only do they restore a lot of these cars on site, the displays that they've put up around them are absolute scenic gold. Some incredible murals on the walls in there, little street scene setups and all sorts of stuff. This is not just a building full of cars. This is an experience to walk through here and see all of these. There's a massive display of Willys automobiles, which were the favorite automobile of the founder of the museum. This little Main Street area was fantastic with a variety of custom cars and things there. The arcade was super cool, a part of the diner that's on site. The hobby shop was fantastic. With when you looked in there, it was full of historic model kits and stuff. Another Hollywood car here, Christine, the Torino from the movie Gran Torino, on display there as well. Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. We've got a Back to the Future DeLorean, of course, with that full background scenery. But this was the best room to me. This is a recreation of the Lions drag strip inside this facility here, with the strip painted like it's got burnout marks on it and everything. Historic drag cars display there, both lined up in the grid ready to go, as well as around the dragway itself. A lot of historic Willys drag cars there, the Stone, Woods, and Cook. Swindler car here. There were two different Swindler cars on display. Long Beach Grand Prix display was also fantastic with a couple of historic racers there. Really neat to see the way that the artists that have crafted this museum have put it all together. I mean, look at that scene. Incredible. And, of course, the cars themselves were spectacular. To see a lot of these historic drag cars, Tommy Ivo's dragster, some of these historic early racers were fantastic to see. This one had great history to it, great patina. This is a real deal vintage machine. Lots of vintage equipment and historic artifacts on display as well. Every showcase and every wall is lined with something very interesting to see. Some early dragsters on display. There's the Swindler A, Stonewoods and Cook Willys. Some cool jackets, racing jackets and things on display. Rich Carrasco's Pure Hell Altered was there, one of my favorite drag cars of all time. That 5-cycle special was super cool. Here's a Bitch and Topolino altered car as well. Everywhere you look, there was something wonderful to see. Historic photos on the walls to match the cars that are on display. It was an absolute treat. There were a lot of goosebump moments for me as I walked through this stuff and checked out all of these amazing artifacts and bits of California and drag race history. Not only drag race cars, but the suits of the drivers. Tom the Mongoose McEwen. Here's a display for Roland Leong, celebration of his life. He passed recently, and apparently they had a party there at the venue on his behalf as well. The Beach City Chevrolet Corvette was a spectacular drag car, along with the Paisano Matsubara Vega. Check that thing out. I built this as a model when I was a kid. Fantastic to see this stuff there. You could almost smell model glue in the air as you wandered through this stuff. They also had some fantastic drag boats on display. Check this out, making it look like they are actually on water with the beach back behind. Really, really incredible work there. I love this South Bay Auto Body Racer. I've seen that car before at local events. The museum does bring a lot of these cars out to share at some of the larger local events and to draw attention to the museum. But the museum's only been open for a few years. Obviously, COVID stopped things up a little bit, but now they are underway and they are really cranking. It's definitely something that's growing in size. It's something that's very active. Even with the passage of the founder of the museum, Rick Lawrenson, the museum is now fully operational. The foundation is there and running, obviously without the main man there, but with great support of his family as well as all the volunteers that maintain this museum. I certainly hope that this continues to grow and continues to host amazing shows like the one that I attended. I definitely think that everybody should go check this out and support this museum. Not only are they doing great things here in celebrating the historic stuff of the past, they are also doing a lot of outreach stuff, teaching young kids how to work on these cars. And that's a super cool thing. So there's school tours that go on there. There's classes that are happening. It really is an amazing facility and one that's well worth checking out. So let's see. As I wander through the final bits of this stuff, a few more details of my second pass through the cars. Love the paint work on a lot of these vintage drag cars. Here's another picture inside the hobby shop. That was spectacular. Some great classics on display, beautiful restorations, and I understand most of these were actually done there on site, and I've got to say the crew that is doing that is doing spectacular work. Here's a couple more vehicles parked outside. There were some custom vans on display. I thought those were pretty trick. Again, some more of the customs that were part of the club display out there. And definitely check out the website for the Lions Museum. And it is lionsautomobilia.org. They have events, it seems like a good once or twice a month. And you can check out the hours of their thing. I think they're open on Wednesdays and Saturdays, something like that. But once again, check it out, lionsautomobilia.org. This is a place that you definitely need to go and check out. And if you can attend when they're doing a cool car show like this, obviously there's more stuff to see. But man, the treasures that are behind the doors of this amazing facility are definitely something I will never forget the opportunity of checking out. So thanks for coming along with me, everybody. Keep on digging them up and driving them. And let me know what you think of the Lions Automobilia Museum. Bye-bye.